To celebrate the month of Halloween, what is better than to revisit the iconic and celebrated horror classic, The Shining? It's a movie that has continued to intrigue and scare audiences for over 40 years since its release, and for good reason. So in case you haven't seen it, or for those who've been living under a rock for the last 4 decades, here's a quick synopsis. Jack Torrance and his family take on the job of caretakers for a sprawling mountaintop hotel during its winter closure. When the snow starts to fall, it brings an isolation from the outside world, and soon things start to take a creepy turn. And soon the 3 family members become plagued by a creeping presence that seems to emanate from the hotel itself. So this is my love letter to Stanley Kubrick's amazing, bewitching production, and here are my 5 personal reasons why this is a masterpiece. Number 5. Is the image mightier than the word? So everyone is aware that Stephen King wrote the original novel back in 1977. It is celebrated as one of his best works and helped cement him as one of the best writers of the 21st century. However, Stanley Kubrick famously took King's book, omitted so much of it to incorporate his own take on the story, it's hardly recognisable, and King hated it. But is it for the better? For me, Kubrick's work here has presented something which is a genius work of art. Every shot is constructed in a way that requires re-examination, and you seem to notice something different every time. It's like a piece of art that draws you in with a hypnotic stare, that sense of dread, that foreboding unease. I'm not sure about you, but I've read Stephen King's book once when I was younger, and I loved it, but I probably wouldn't read it again. However, I can easily return to The Overlook in its cinematic representation because it just draws me in like a moth to a flame. John Alcott's masterful photography is the main reason it works so well on a visual level. It gives us lots of symmetry, wide-angle shots, as well as that gliding Steadicam that creates a true captivating ambience. It makes us feel scared even when nothing is happening on screen, and also holds a very strange way to make the labyrinthine corridors of the Overlook feel really claustrophobic. Number 4. Unsettling the score. Nothing can prepare you for that unforgettable opening scene as we glide through the Colorado mountains. It's so beautiful, eerie and haunting. But it's not just the visuals. The score, composed by Wendy Carlos and Rachel Elkins, really adds to the ambience. There's eerie synthesizers and haunting cries that just add that extra layer of unease. And that eerie 4-note sequence was adapted from a medieval chant, Dies Irae, which is Latin for Day of Wrath, or loosely translated as Judgment Day. Number 3. Timeless performances. So, Jack Nicholson's portrayal of Jack Torrance, the increasingly unhinged writer, has become the stuff of Hollywood legend. His flamboyant yet nuanced performance is memorable and produced some of the most iconic lines in cinema history, such as, "Here's Johnny." Equally, Shelley Duvall's jittery performance of Wendy Torrance adds to the movie's tension with her vulnerability and fear. I see her as the movie's main protagonist. She'll do anything to protect her son from danger. Danny Lloyd does an amazing job as their young child Danny, a child haunted by visions and premonitions due to his special ability to shine, which is where we got the title. To me, all 3 are perfect and iconic in their roles as the unfortunate Torrance family, but let's not forget about the amazing Scatman Crothers, who plays an unforgettable role as Mr. Halloran. 2. There are more questions than answers. So The Shining is a tightly constructed cinematic puzzle which works on so many levels. If you look for a straightforward horror movie, you'll get it. But if you peep down that Kubrick rabbit hole, that's when it gets interesting. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I love to pore over the many fan theories that this movie presents. There's numerous documentaries like Room 237 and information from critics like Rob Ager, who tell some very compelling theories. And I'll put Rob's YouTube channel on the description. Check it out. So, after 4 decades, they still come thick and fast, and they all seem to offer some great evidence about what is actually going on in the Overlook Hotel. There is just so many to immerse yourself in, like, is the Overlook actually hell? Is the film a metaphor for the Native American genocide? Or a metaphor for the Holocaust? There's even a cool Wendy theory that suggests that she is the one going crazy, and even another one that implies that Kubrick is telling us that the 1969 moon landings were faked. So take your pick out of those theories, but I assure you that every single one of them makes you think, ah, yeah, maybe. So before we roll into the number one reason why The Shining is a masterpiece, let me reel off a few funky facts. Did you know that while the exterior shots of the Overlook Hotel in the film are well known, the interior shots are actually shot on meticulously constructed sets at Elstree Studios in Hertfordshire, England? The film's set design is incredibly detailed and is a testament to Stanley Kubrick's dedication for creating a unique and eerie atmosphere. Did you know that Danny Lloyd, the young actor who plays Danny Torrance, was only 6 years old during the filming of The Shining? To protect him from the film's disturbing content, Kubrick kept him in the dark about the true nature of the story. Danny reportedly believed he was filming a drama, not a horror film, until he saw the finished product many years later. Did you know that Kubrick's demanding approach to filming often meant doing endless takes? And Shelley Duvall had such a bad time during filming, she started losing her hair. Being in a constant state of panic and fear for such a prolonged period had an effect on our health and well-being. It's even recorded that the baseball bat sequence took a whopping 127 takes, which is the highest number of takes according to the Guinness Book of Records. Did you know that in the film Jack Torrance is seen typing on a distinctive typewriter? Kubrick chose the German-made Adler typewriter because of its unique appearance and sound. It contributed to the film's eerie atmosphere and is now considered an iconic prop from the movie. Did you know that Stanley Kubrick actually got lost in the maze in the movie? Well, he was concerned that the maze was far too easy to solve and was challenged by the crew on set one morning, and he was unable to get out. Okay, let's resume and carry on with the show. So The Shining for me feels like a perfect storm of the cast's iconic performances, the captivating art and sound design, and the beauty of John Alcott's camera work. And lastly, there might be something else. So, are you ready for my number one reason why The Shining continues to reign as one of the greatest horror movies ever? Well, here it goes. Number one, the genius of Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick is one of the most renowned directors in cinema history. At the helm, his meticulous attention to detail, innovative cinematography, and deliberate pacing creates a unique and unsettling atmosphere that set The Shining away from typical horror movies. His direction is often praised for its ability to induce fear and tension. So the master himself was a complex man who dabbled in many genres and gave us endless masterpieces like 2001: A Space Odyssey, Barry Lyndon, A Clockwork Orange, Dr. Strangelove and Spartacus, and The Shining sits up there with the very best of them. So there you have it, my top 5 reasons why you should watch The Shining again this Halloween. And if you haven't seen it, you should be ashamed of yourself. So I'm Craig and this is Wookie Video Presents. If you like this content, why not give me a like and a subscribe? It helps me grow this channel and give you more content. So until next time, hasta la vista.